I used to hold on to resentment, sometimes not even realizing it. I thought it kept me safe, but all it did was keep me stuck. At 54, I finally let go. The shift that set me free, it's not what you would think. Now, at this stage in my life, I've been through disappointments and betrayals from friends, family, relationships, work environments. And I used to replay those injustices in my mind. Sometimes they were very conscious. And all it was doing was impacting my self confidence and my sense of self worth. I found myself being in a victim mentality. It was them doing all those things to me. When I started to take ownership of it and realize that there were a lot of lessons in there that I could take from them, things started to shift. I also realized that holding on to resentment was draining my energy and it was inhibiting me from feeling peace. I realized that forgiveness was the breakthrough. I needed to learn to forgive others, and I also needed to learn to forgive myself. If you've ever held on to something for too long, like guilt, a grudge, regret, drop a heart in the comment section and I'll send you my Soulful Solitude Toolkit so that you could find your way to inner peace. I'll get it right to you. I vividly remember when I was deeply disappointed and felt betrayed by a friend that I had for so many years for some actions that she took. I cried it out, I journaled about it, I talked to friends about it. I really allowed myself to feel the tremendous disappointment of it all. When I was ready to let go, I wrote her a letter because at this point it was something that was irreparable. I expressed how I felt from the whole situation, but I also thanked her for the time we had together, all the lessons that I learned with her, and I let her know that even though we had this wonderful time together and I was grateful for all the lessons, that it was time for me to release the friendship. I felt that the trust had been deeply severed and I needed to set a boundary around that for myself. So I carefully crafted the letter. I sent it to her. I was very loving in the letter, and she received it with a lot of grace and understanding. And we basically broke off our friendship. I certainly had a grieving period over that because we were friends for a really long time. But as I mentioned, the damage was irreparable. And it was a very liberating moment for me because I reclaimed my sense of self-respect and honor through all of that. I was setting a boundary about how I was going to allow myself to be treated and what I was going to tolerate and not tolerate. And that was a powerful place to be for myself. I also took the time to forgive myself for past mistakes and wrongdoings, because as much as it's important to dish out forgiveness and compassion when you're ready for others, it's equally as important to do it for yourself. So I spent time forgiving myself for things that I could have done differently, knowing that I did the best I can in some of those circumstances with what I knew then. Sometimes there's great forgiveness that can come from having a thoughtful conversation with the person that you're having a conflict with. I really believe in developing interpersonal communication skills as much as possible so that those types of communications can help foster more meaningful, deeper connections with the people in your life. But it doesn't always work out that way. And sometimes writing a letter to the person and sending it can really help. And sometimes you don't need to send the letter at all. It can be a letter that you write to yourself for letting go of someone or forgive your own self for something you did. Finding a ritual or something that works for you is going to be key in finding your way back to inner peace so that you're not beating yourself up about it. Life is a journey. We're always learning. And the more we can learn to forgive ourselves and others for whatever they are in their own journey, the better at peace we are with ourselves. Forgiveness doesn't erase the lesson, it just opens up to inner peace. If this spoke to you, tap the like button. If you're still struggling with a life setback, check out this video on how I made a layoff a season for soulful growth.